Can MetLife demand that a policyholder with chronic headaches produce objective evidence of their disability? Facts matter in a disability case. That's particularly true when the policyholder has subjective medical conditions like chronic headaches. A chronic headache is considered subjective because there's no objective diagnostic testing or gold standard test to determine whether, in fact, you have chronic headaches. Many courts will acknowledge that chronic headaches and migraine pain is the type of medical condition that is difficult to diagnose through labs reports and imaging scans. Yet, many disability carriers insist on objective evidence or clinical evidence as a prerequisite for disability, even when the disability policy in question doesn't even require objective evidence of proof. They make it up. And that's exactly what happened in the case of Hamid versus MetLife, which is a Northern District, California case. Now, Mr. Hamid was the enterprise retail sales manager at the Bank of America, and he managed the mortgage department for 8 BOA branches and managed 10 to 15 employees. Unfortunately, he had migraine headache issues as early as 2000. He had seen over a dozen different doctors for these problems. He had been seen by neurologists, allergists, rheumatologists, you name it, he had been seen by them. He underwent both conservative and invasive treatment, including multiple nasal surgeries and Botox injections. Unfortunately, none of that was successful. His medical records documented his chronic head and face pain, which was corroborated by family members and coworkers. He stopped working because of those frequent migraines, persistent pain, and pressure in his face and head. He also obviously would have suffered from fatigue and mental fogginess, which were the side effects of his medication. So what did MetLife do with this short and long-term disability claim? Well, what they always do. MetLife denied both the short and long-term disability claim on the basis that there was not enough clinical or objective evidence to substantiate his subjective complaints. They even claimed he was exaggerating his symptoms because his treating doctor commented that his symptoms were out of proportion to the exam findings and objective findings. Every one of MetLife's liar-for-hire doctors opined there was insufficient evidence of impairment. And as a result of the claims denial, he appealed and ultimately filed a lawsuit in federal court. What did the judge do with this evidence? Now, it's clear that MetLife improperly conditioned benefits on the existence of objective evidence, even against the backdrop of Hamid's consistent and corroborated reports of chronic pain. The judge first looked at the totality of the evidence and found Hamid's symptoms to be credible. Now, the judge, to his credit, noted that the same treating doctor who said his symptoms were out of proportion continued to recommend treatment, including surgeries. The judge reasoned that the continued recommendation for treatment supported the veracity and the intensity of Hamid's symptoms. The judge also found objective evidence of disability because of the supporting letters from his treating physicians and supporting statements from friends, family, and coworkers. These documents further established that Hamid was honest about the nature of his symptoms. And after finding that his symptoms were credible, the judge closely reviewed the medical records and looked for objective evidence of disability. Now, the judge noted that MetLife had misconstrued Hamid's lengthy medical history, failing to credit numerous objective indicators of pain. The judge was impressed by the fact that he had gone to great lengths to relieve his symptoms. He had sought out and gotten pain management treatment. He had undergone Botox injections, allergy injections, and surgery. He had taken powerful medications, including opioids and ketamine, which in the judge's opinion were objective evidence of disability and impairment. As a result of finding that his symptoms were credible, as a result of finding Hamid's symptoms being credible, the great lengths to which he had gone to get treatment, the nature of the treatment, the judge awarded short-term disability benefit and 24 months of own occupation long-term disability benefits. You can see having the support of your physician and documentation of your symptoms and your problems with functionality are key to winning a disability claim.